Well, the Dewersons are a very busy couple trying to reconnect with each other by disconnecting from the devices. And let's just say it takes them on a very wild ride.
This is code red, man. Code red.
Left foot. Okay, hold on, honey. We can do this. We're a team.
Hey, get out of my truck.
Are you two doing bath salts out there?
Well, there may be an absence of technology in this movie, but it's full of laughs thanks to our next guest from the film Unplugging. Please welcome actor, writer, director, producer, just a man of very many talents, and his hat game is strong, Mr. Matt Walsh.
Thank you, OG. It's an honor. I can't believe I finally made it on your show. This is a feather in my cap.
See, you know what? See, that's the funny guy in you. You're making fun of me, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I love you. You're the goat. You're the morning goat.
Okay, now we're gonna stop there because I am not. Maybe the goat, the animal that goes, yes, that one, yes, but not the greatest of all time. But before we get into your movie, Mr. Walsh, Unplugging,
Yes, ma'am.
you are the only person named Matt Walsh on that movie team and crew, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are? Okay, because I noticed that you not only star in it, you produced it and co-wrote the movie. Were you also stunt coordinator as well? Because I missed that part.
I did not do my own stunts,
Oh, really?
but I had a lot of help from Eva Longoria, my co-star, so she helped make it really funny. And all that craziness you see on screen is because a couple decided they needed to reconnect and go to a place where there was no Wi-Fi and no cell service. So that's how addicted we are.
Listen, and the hilarity ensues. So let's talk about the Dewersons, because you play Dan, the hot sauce man, and Eva Longoria plays your wife, Janine, and you two have a glaring problem that many people will totally relate to. So was the premise inspired by a real-life situation, Mr. Walsh?
Yes, it was. I have kids who are always on their iPad. My wife and I, when we go on a date, I have to make her drive so she can't be on her phone.
Oh.
And so, yeah, she won't admit it, but she's worse than I am. And it's a problem, so you have to carve out time in your life. And so that was the premise of the movie, and my friend Brad Morris and I wrote a movie around that.
Wow. I wish I could write a movie about the stuff that happens around me, but I can't even spell my name, Mr. Walsh. But there are so many awesome people in this cast. Nicole Byer, Leah Thompson, Al Madrigal, Kid David, and you guys all deliver one funny moment after the next. So, and that's as this couple is on this quest to unplug. Have you ever really tried a digital detox this extreme?
The great question. This is why you're the GOAT. These are great questions. I'll tell you, the longest we can get away with is a Friday night. And then ultimately it might break down to where we're all watching one screen, which means we're not going to watch screens tonight. We're going to read a book or go outdoors. And by the end of the night, we're watching a movie together.
All right. Anyone who...
What's that?
No, I was going to say, I think you were done, but I was going to say anyone who knows the name Matt Walsh or who has ever seen you knows that you are nothing but a comedian. You are so great at comedy, which is why you've been making these OG jokes all morning long. But they also got to love you on all those seasons of the award-winning comedy Veep. And then now you're keeping the spirit of the show going with Second in Command, a Veep rewatch. So tell us about the podcast. And you also had a special guest that's kind of like a reunion from your Veep family?
Yeah, we have a podcast where Tim Simons and I, who played Jonah, go through every episode of Veep and we talk about it. And we have guests from, our friends from the show, Tony Hale, Julia Dreyfus, Sam Richardson. They'll come through and they'll visit a particular episode. And it's been really nice to reconnect with some of these people and also just see the show a few years later. Because when you're an actor in a show, you can't really watch it because you're always looking at, as you know, well, you might not have this issue. You probably always look great, but I don't like the way I look or I don't like the way I act at a scene. But with a few years behind the show now, I can actually watch it as a fan.
Listen, trust me, this is not even me. This is like a human filter that they use. You see how many lights they have here. When they turn off these lights, it is like a horror movie.
You think I just made my hotel room look like this? I spent, 2 hours staging this background, getting the lampshade crooked.
I knew it looked perfect. See, that is why you're an actor, writer, producer, director, everything, because you can create anything you want to create, unlike the rest of us. I just sit under lights and yell at people. That's all I do, just so you know.
You do it well.
Oh,
I love you. I'm such a fan.
No, see, okay, so you know what? Is it April 1st? No, it's not. I just
No,
wanna
I'm
make sure-
not. Come on, this is all love. What are you talking about?
All right, okay, so let's talk about quickly a lot of
Yes.
the other projects you have going on, because right now there's Press Play, Not an Artist, Flaming Hot. Did you write, stunt coordinate, produce, direct any of these?
I didn't stunt coordinate or art direct any of those projects, but Not an Artist. I wrote and starred in, and
course you did.
that has the RZA from the Wu-Tang in it, and that was a real thrill to work with that guy. Press Play is coming out on Netflix, but I got to film in Hawaii and bring my wife there.
What?
So that's one of the perks. Yeah. Would you do a morning show in Hawaii?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you like I did a contest once, Matt Walsh. I did a contest where I could work remotely in Hawaii. I didn't win. I made it to like one of the finalists and stuff because I was like I can
Yeah.
work from here, but they didn't pick me. But
Yeah, that's right. So when someone sends you a script and says we're going to be in Hawaii, you're like, yeah, I don't even need to read that. Let's go.
you just show up. What about Flaming Hot?
It's a wonderful movie.
What about Flaming Hot?
Was directed by this monster of a bully of a director named Eva Longoria, who would
Oh.
yell at people all the time. And no, she was. I worked with her on Unplugging, and then about a year later, she was working on a movie and asked me if I would be a character in it, and I said, of course. And that's about a guy who invented the Flaming Hot Cheeto, and
Wow.
I don't know when that's coming out, but that was a real joy to work with Eva as a director.
Oh, wow. So I know that when that does come out, since you and I are like this now, you're gonna come back to talk about it. Promise?
I promise. You're my first New York stop.
Woo woo!
Come on.
All right. Thank you.
OG.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walsh. It's such a pleasure to meet you. You are the bestest of all time. And
Thank you.
everyone at home, you can unplug with Matt Walsh this weekend. His movie Unplugging is in theaters today and then on demand next Friday, April 29th.